what every NFL team should do moving forward. First team on the list, Cincinnati Bengals. I think they're one move away from being legit contenders. Defensive move, and I'm not saying re-sign Trey Hendrickson. That's a given. I think one more defensive move. Probably someone in the secondary, possibly another pass rusher. I know they just drafted one, but I think they're one move away from being legit contenders. Tennessee Titans, they are in young category. They just drafted a rookie quarterback. They're getting a new stadium soon. It's going to be tough to really grade them, and there's no reason for them to tank since they're kind of starting their new era. Jacksonville Jaguars, I think they are a bit in limbo for the reason they're similar to Titans in they're young, but the issue is Trevor Lawrence is not young. He's on a full-sized contract, and it's like if he's not going to be a top dog, a top 10 quarterback, top 8 quarterback, what are they doing? And they just got to do coach. That's a tricky situation. If they don't produce quick, is Lawrence benched? Is the coach fired? What is Travis Hunter doing? They're in a weird spot. Houston Texans, I think you just run it. I think this team is ready to compete. Maybe get another wide receiver to make this offense even more prolific. But I think they're ready. And we are going to tank the Colts. They need a quarterback badly. The Anthony Richardson experiment has failed. And the issue with them tanking is Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman. They got Warren, who's young, and he'll be there for the rebuild. But a lot of their good defensive players are not going to be there. Quentin Nelson's going to be getting up there in age. They need to tank fast. Green Bay Packers are in one move away. And in full honesty, I don't know what that one move is. They have a good quarterback, not great. They've got a good receiving core, not great. Their defense is good. It's not great. It's like, I don't know where their one move should be. They need something. We know they're not quite on the level of the champions in the NFC with the Lions, the Eagles, some teams in the division, Vikings maybe. We'll touch on them in just a second. Speaking of the Vikings, I think they're in limbo. Look, they've got essentially a rookie quarterback in J.J. McCarthy. I think this team is overrated. They've had 2 of these years where they win 13, 14 games and don't win a playoff game. If J.J. McCarthy stinks, what do you really go from there? I mean, you've got 2 great receivers in Addison and Jefferson, and you got Hawkinson. You got Aaron Jones in the backfield. It's like, okay, do you bench him after 1 year? Do you start throwing in other guys at the end of the season? I think they're in a weird spot. I think the Bears are just going to run it. Look, they've got the quarterback. They've got the new coach. They've got all these weapons. If they fail, it could get messy. Messy as in Caleb Williams is gone if he really stinks it up with all his help. But I think they run it. Maybe defensively they're a couple moves away from legitimately competing. I'm probably gonna move them to one move. But I think they're pretty close to where they want to be. Detroit Lions, I'm gonna say just run it. Look, last year they were a great team. They lost in divisional round to the hot Commanders. If they were healthy, it would have been a different story. Now, would they have won the Super Bowl? I don't know. It would have been different. They're gonna assume they're more healthy this year, and they will see how things go. They did lose their coordinators, though. Washington Commanders. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, they're ready to go. I'm not so sure. A year of film on Daniels. The run game it's mostly dependent on Daniels and the read option and the RPO game. Yeah, Daniels was a world beater last year. If he isn't that great, he was masking a lot of holes. The amount of his completion percentage was through the roof. Rushing the ball as well. They kept the ball a ton. They helped that mediocre defense. He helped the run game. I think if Daniels is just a normal human being this year, I think Washington could face some problems. Philadelphia Eagles are obviously in a run it. They've got the best team in the NFL, roster-wise at least. They did lose some defenders in the secondary. But, I mean, I don't even know what the one move they would make is. I don't know. I mean, they could use some corners, but I think they're I think they're ready to go. Pittsburgh Steelers, they should be in long tank. Long tank. They need to tank for a few years, get a quarterback. They need to trade T.J. Watt. They need to get rid of Cam Hayward. They just need to restart. This team is just not ready for it. They got Aaron Rodgers. 9-8 is incoming. Probably like 9-7-1 would be our prediction. I can just feel that tie. I don't like the Steelers. Cowboys, they feel like they're one move away. They're very top heavy. They got Dak, they got CD, they got Pickens, they got Parsons, Diggs. It's outside of that, it feels like they were built on Madden. But they are close. I think they're a legit competitor in the NFC. I think they will push the Eagles this year. I would say they're probably a bell cow running back away from being an elite offense. And then they're probably a couple defenders away from being an elite defense. Giants, I'm going to put in young. They got Malik Neighbors. They got Jackson Dart. The coaching staff is not young, though, so that is a question mark on how long until they get fired. But overall, the team is young, and we'll have to see how the quarterback, the wide receiver, new running back, have to see how that goes. Panthers, they are in young/limbo. They did have a new coach last year who benched Bryce Young in week 3. Then he came back and played well. Bryce Young is back. They got Tedero McMillan. Bryce Young has got to perform. If Bryce Young doesn't perform, he's done. Done quick. And the coaching staff might be gone as well. But he'll have this year. He will have this year for sure. The Bucs, it's crazy to say this because they feel really good. They feel like they're a top 10 team. I think we've seen the best of this team, and it's not a Super Bowl caliber team. They're good. Don't get me wrong. They are good, and they can beat anybody. For them, are they going to rip off 4 straight games, 2 or 3 of which are going to be on the road in the playoffs? I don't think Baker's that good. I don't think this team is that good. They're good, not great. The Saints are going to be in an endless tank. This thing could take 10 years. It's going to be a while for them. Cardinals are in limbo. They really should be tanking. Trade away Kyler Murray. See if you can get 3 or 4 first-round picks. Keep Marvin Harrison. Get rid of everybody else. Get rid of James Conner. Get rid of everyone. I don't think this team can compete for a chip. I think Kyler Murray's wasting his potential. I think you get all the picks you can get. Keep a hold of your young players and tank. But I think they believe they can win a Super Bowl, so that's why they're in limbo. Seahawks are also in limbo. Look, Sam Darnold is not the guy. The wide receiving room is just weird with Kupp and Jigba. You got Kenneth Walker. This offense feels just smacked together, just random guys. The defense is okay. I like the head coach and Mike McDaniel. They're in limbo, though. Can they compete for a Super Bowl? No. Are they going to be terrible? No. They're going to win 7, 8, 9 games, maybe 10, but they don't feel legit. And another NFC West team, the 49ers, they're in limbo because they just paid Brock Purdy a lot of money. They had to get rid of Debo. They had to get rid of a lot of players. They've got Nick Bosa, Ayuk, Kittle, McCaffrey, and Purdy, and that is it. Kind of similar to the Cowboys. They don't have anything. This team is thin, and if Purdy can bolster an elite offense, it all works out. If this offense is average, they are done for. They are done for. Browns are in a rebuild. Look, Deshaun Watson, are still paying him all this money. I don't care how good Shedeur Sanders is. They're going to have to wait until this Deshaun Watson contract is over. Probably should trade Myles Garrett. Probably should trade Jerry Jeudy. Those guys are not going to be part of this rebuild. They're just too old. By the time the Browns get good again, they'll be retired. New England Patriots, they're in young. We got to see how things go with Drake May, but can't really comment with them yet. Miami Dolphins, they are in limbo. Look, they've got Tua, they got Tyreek, they got Waddle. It's got to happen this year. It has got to happen this year. all that money they're spending on this team, I mean, I don't know what to say. This whole quarterback, coach, GM, if they are not above 500 at Thanksgiving, if they're 4-6, they're getting cut. Everybody's getting cut. Oh, they're going to be getting cut fast. Buffalo Bills, I considered one move. They probably are just in a run it territory. I mean, are they maybe one elite defensive player? Like if they were to get a Micah Parsons, then I'm like, okay, this changes things. Or Patrick Surtain, just like a big defensive piece. Then yeah, sure, but they're probably comfortable where they're at. Chargers are definitely one move away. If they get an elite receiver, then we're having serious talks about them dethroning the Chiefs. For now, the offense is not electric enough to compete with the big dogs. Kansas City, they're obviously running territory. I mean, that's pretty. I'm not even going to discuss that. The Raiders, they could be in limbo, they could be in young, and they could be in long tank. I think they're in long tank for the reason Geno will be okay enough. Pete Carroll's going to make sure they're not terrible. But Geno's not the long-term option. He's not winning a Super Bowl. He's not winning that division. You got to get... I mean, Agenti will keep you in games too. Which it ends up sucking because 3 years down the road, they're going to be 7-10, 7-10, 4-13. Geno's contract's up, and it's like, we didn't get a rookie quarterback. Now we're reeling. Baltimore Ravens are definitely run it as well. These are the top dogs. They're not looking for anything big. And the New York Jets, they are in long tank as well. They got Justin Fields at quarterback, which means they've got no quarterback. Got a lot of young assets. I mean, they've got Breece Hall. They got Garrett Wilson. They've got pieces. But by the time they get this thing figured out, those pieces will be retired.